Something really big has just happened in the PCOS world. PCOS officially has a new name. It's now called PMOS, or should I say PMOS? We're all gonna have to get used to this new name and how to pronounce it. So I must admit I was pretty surprised. I knew there was some talk about the name being changed at some point, but I had no idea what the new name was gonna be or when it was gonna happen. So I wanna talk a little bit about this. My name is Martha McKittrick. I'm a registered dietitian and I've been specializing in PCOS or PMOS for over 20 years. So I've been watching how what we know about the condition has evolved. So I want to talk about what does the name mean, why the name was changed, some potential pros and cons, and then if I think it will affect care of people with PCOS. So exactly what does PMOS mean? It stands for Polyendocrine Metabolic Ovarian Syndrome. Polyendocrine means it affects multiple hormone systems. Metabolic is the biggest change to the name because metabolic means how your body processes and uses fuel, and this can affect things like insulin, insulin resistance, blood sugar, risk of diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and more. But one thing I do want to say is that not everybody with PMOS has these metabolic issues. There are different kind of phenotypes of PCOS. Some people have more of the reproductive difficulties. Others have more of the high androgens, trouble with hair growth, hair loss, acne. And others have a lot more of the metabolic issues, trouble with their weight, and many people have a combination of both. So it's just another reason why just because the name was changed, everybody's not going to be treated the same. Treatment has to be individualized. So why, after all these years, have the experts finally changed the name? I think we can all agree the name was never appropriate in the first place. Think about it. You tell somebody you have polycystic ovarian syndrome and they look at you like, okay, so you have a cyst on your ovary, what's the big deal? Where here you are struggling with weight gain for no reason, mental health issues, trouble with hair loss, hair growth, or acne, and the name just was never fitting. Or you go to your healthcare provider and they're overly focused on your menstrual cycle and fertility, and they might just say to you, come back and see me when you want to get pregnant, or just tell you to lose weight. And then also the cysts in PCOS aren't true ovarian cysts. They're actually immature follicles that never fully developed and released the egg. And many people with PCOS don't even have these little cysts on the ovary. So the name was never right. So moving on to my thoughts on the name change. I have mixed feelings. I'm going to start with the positive. I like that the new name better reflects what we've learned about PCOS over the years. Starting with the name polyendocrine, we know that it affects multiple hormones in the body, so I guess that's good, although it's kind of weird in a name, but that's fine. I do like that word metabolic's been added in there because we know that metabolic health is a huge part of PCOS for many people, not everybody, but many. So I'm hoping just having that word in there will now make more people aware that PCOS is just not a reproductive condition. So if this can lead to earlier diagnosis, more research, more funding, eventually more treatment options, and a better conversation between the patient and the healthcare provider, I'm all for the name change. So here are my concerns. We've spent decades building awareness around PCOS. Millions of people have heard it. Even celebrities have come out and shared their experiences. Healthcare practitioners are finally starting to kind of learn more about it. So I do worry with this name change, is there going to be more confusion, at least initially? Will people who are newly diagnosed with it be confused on what they have? Will people who've had it for years think now what's going on? And also because not everybody with PMOS has metabolic issues, will that spread some confusion? I'm really hoping there's not going to be more emphasis on lose weight, because the word metabolic is in there. Only time will tell how this transition goes. So the question is, would this name change actually make a difference in patient care? I hope so. Not that the name change alone will make the difference, because it won't, but names matter. They influence how a condition is perceived. And if this name change can help people think beyond the ovaries, if it can help healthcare providers think more broadly, if it can eventually lead to more funding for research, eventually better treatment options, more individualized care, better conversations between healthcare providers and patients, then the name change was definitely worth it. But at the end of the day, for me, whether it's called PMOS, PMOS or PCOS, my goals are the same. I want to help educate people on PCOS and provide individualized care and really help my patients feel better and feel healthier. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you like the old name PCOS, or are you a fan of the new name PMOS? Let me know in the comments.